Alright guys, so we just got outside of Kansas City. I meant to film when we stopped, but I was a little tired. The wife is going to drive. Pray for us that we don't die. But anyways, I'm going to go to sleep for a bit, and then when I wake up, hopefully be daylight out and we can do a little bit of filming. So see you guys soon. There you go. There's the new one. It looks better too. It looks like the stock one. Alright guys, so we are in Edmond, which is a suburb, I think, of Oklahoma City. I literally just got done replacing my alternator again. The regulator on it, on the reman one I got, was bad. Should have just waited till I could get a brand new one, man. I tell you what. But I paid the difference to get a brand new one. Everything's good now. I was having charging issues. It wasn't charging enough, and then it was overcharging. So we got here, got it fixed out. If you guys live down here, come over to the Edmonds at Advanced Auto Parts. These guys really helped me out. They helped me with some tools. They got everything figured out for me right away. No issues. I really appreciate it. Thanks to them. And we're gonna go pick up my daughter now. Adios. Well guys, we are almost back to Kansas. We got my daughter. She's back there munching on some Cheetos. Watching her tablet. We're rolling. She's sleeping. Anyways, I seem to be still having the same problem with my alternator that I was having, so I guess I'm gonna have to dig deeper into it. So I'll have to let you guys know what that ends up being. For some reason it keeps doing that. I don't know if you can see it very well. Normally it's over 14, which is always how it's been. And then started doing this, you know, during the trip, started doing this whole dropping down to like 12 volts. And I made it to Oklahoma City where they tested it, and it was overcharging. I don't know, but we changed it out for a brand new one, and now I'm having this problem where it keeps going low. You know, if you turn the vehicle, or turn the truck off and then back on, it seems to kind of reset itself for a while, and then it starts doing it again. So, I mean, it's charging somewhat, I guess, because it's putting out like, I think it's still putting out 12 volts. I mean, we're still driving. And then occasionally it'll go back up. And then I noticed too, I don't know if you guys can see that, freaking oil pressure. It says I got high oil pressure, but I think it's just the sensor. It's got a code for the sensor. So I think the sensor's bad. I'll have to replace that at some point. But I gotta get this alternator figured out. A couple things I can do, and then we'll go from there. But see you guys soon, whenever we stop again. Adios. Oh, one last thing. Oklahoma people drive freaking fast. Does anybody else ever buy these and wonder why the heck they put so much freaking pretzels in it? Yeah, look at this. Like mainly pretzels. I'm trying so hard, but I can't catch this Toyota up here. No matter what I do, I just can't catch it. It just goes so dang fast. Ah! Would you just look at it? Just look at it. There's absolutely nothing out here. Who the freaking heck would want to live in Kansas? I do what I want. Alright guys, so we just got back to Kansas City, Missouri. We just fueled up. This fuel should take us home. Actually, my truck did pretty good. I'm really surprised at how well it did on fuel. But yeah, we got about, I think it's like maybe a little less than 5 hours or 5 hours to home. So we're gonna rock it out. It's getting dark. I'm gonna try to get back as soon as we can because we gotta go get my little dude yet, and otherwise that's it. So I'll probably finish it up tomorrow. Adios. All right, guys. So today is the next day from the trip that you guys were just watching. It was one heck of a trip. I did all of the driving except for maybe about an hour and 45 minutes of it. Originally, when I looked it up, I thought it was a 10.5-hour drive to Oklahoma City, because that's what it showed me. But when we were down in Oklahoma City back to Waterloo, it showed only 9.5 hours. So I don't know, but I drove pretty much all of it. Like I said, just minus an hour and 45 minutes. My wife drove that hour and 45 minutes out of the whole trip. She slept most of the time. But, yeah, so I had mentioned about my alternator having problems. Those guys at that Advanced Auto that helped me out, they're great guys, great place, easy to deal with. They helped me with some tools. I came prepared. I brought my spare tire with me. I had all my tools. I even had a jack and all that, just in case. Jack stands, even power tools. So I didn't need much, but I just needed a crowbar, basically, from those guys, and a rubber mallet. But I don't know, during our trip, my voltmeter, and I've never noticed, maybe just never really paid attention to it until recent events, but I never noticed my volt gauge going from, like, it used to hang out, I want to say, around 14.7 is what I've always noticed. And then I noticed on our way down to Oklahoma City, it was dropping down like 12 volts, which I thought was weird. I put a bigger alternator in the truck. It's originally a 145, and then I put a 160 in it. I had the battery, I had just bought this battery back in, I think it was August. Maybe it was May, sorry. It was between May and August I bought the new battery. And it died twice on my wife, 2 separate times, about maybe a couple weeks apart. When they tested the battery, it said it was good, but it had no cold cranking amps. So I assumed, well, must not be charging. And I seen fluctuation a little bit. Not a lot, just a couple, like once I seen it fluctuate. And I thought, well, maybe, its original alternator probably needs to be replaced. So I just went ahead and replaced it. Didn't have an issue after that. Until our trip. I noticed it was dipping down to 12 volts. But I mean, everything was driving okay. And that was a reman alternator. We ended up making it to Oklahoma City. I stopped at Advanced Auto. They tested it, and it tested that it was actually overcharging at 15 something, like 15.9 or something like that volts. So they said, yeah, we can, exchange it out. And I was like, can I just pay the difference and buy a brand new one? I should have just done that in the first place. So I put a brand new alternator in it instead. And, I had paid the difference for that, which was $40. At the time I didn't have the money, but this time I did. So, anyways, I got that put in. We head down where we're going to meet up with Mara's mother, my daughter, her mom, where we're going to meet him up. We go down there, we're waiting, and I noticed the volt gauge doing it again. I was like, are you kidding me? Like, this is brand new. Well, I figured out, these guys were just saying, keep an eye on it. We don't really know. We don't understand. Because I checked my grounds. Everything was good. No lights were dimming. Nothing like that. So we drove all the way back, and it kept doing its thing. Down, up, down, up. This morning, when I was looking it up, I came across a thing that GM had done with their vehicles anyways. I think it's other vehicles too, I don't know. It could be other brands, could be just for GM's vehicles, I don't know. I read that it goes into an economy mode on alternators on the new style rather than before it used to keep it at a constant, but it basically goes into economy mode. It drops down to between 12.6 and 13.1 volts, and when it needs more voltage, then it'll pop back up over the 14. So at that point, you know, after reading that, I'm like, makes total sense. I'm not having problems with my battery. When they tested my alternator yesterday in Oklahoma City, the battery tested perfect. Well, now I understand why. I'm glad we still stopped because obviously that battery was bad. This battery I haven't had any problems with. I mean the alternator was bad. That alternator was overcharging. Bought a brand new one. I don't have any issues. So that's good to know. So if any of you guys have a problem like that where you see it bouncing like 12 to 14, apparently it's supposed to do that. Now if you have any problems where lights are dimming and it seems like things are, you know, not working as well, get it checked out. But if you notice, like I did, between the, you know, the 12 volt range to 14, apparently that's what it's doing. But I don't want to make this video too long. That was just our trip down to Oklahoma City and back. I didn't get a lot of driving footage because a lot of it was at night, and you know, there wasn't a lot to film. But in Oklahoma City or Oklahoma, man, I tell you what, that was just insane. People driving like 90 miles an hour on the way back, all the way from Oklahoma City to about Kansas. People were still driving like 90 miles an hour. I couldn't even keep up with people. I was just like, I didn't want to risk it, you know, but most of the time it's best to go with the flow of traffic, which, you know, I did. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. We had a blast. It was a long trip. Just wait a second. And I'm out of here, so I will see you guys later. Adios.